Harrison, what's up, man?
Steve, thank you, brother, for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. I think I need to turn my volume down. You have one of those voices that project
So I've
even
been told.
even even through a microphone.
I want people everywhere to know who I am and hear me.
I think they're hearing you even if they're not connected to this webinar, Harrison. It's working.
Hey, I'll take it. Whatever I'm doing is working out in one way or another, and I cannot be angry over that.
Absolutely. So, before we dive into why people are here, I'm going to give a few minutes just because it always takes a few minutes for people to come in. So, what'd you do for Thanksgiving, man?
Dude, Thanksgiving was nice. I had a little family in town. It was Thanksgiving itself was fairly quiet.
Hmm.
I do a Friendsgiving also like a week or two prior to Thanksgiving. That was good. We did I don't know, we had like 30ish people at the house. So
That's great.
maybe 40, but I would say 30 to be safe. 30, 35. 35 is probably a safe number. Um, but yeah, just trying to make the most of it, enjoy the company and friends and all that good stuff. And um, if I can make an impact on somebody's life and just, and I mean that in kind of the most wholehearted way. Um, there was a Thanksgiving where it was just me and my parents were traveling and my siblings were all traveling in college and
Um,
school and whatever. So I had spent Thanksgiving with some friends and I appreciate that. And I love one of my favorite things to do is get everyone together.
yeah,
That is truly one of my favorite things in the world is getting people together. More specifically, getting my friends all together in one place because I feel like it doesn't really happen all that often, and that is um, I don't know. That's important to me.
good for you. Yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite times of year. Oh, let's just be honest. It is my favorite time of the year. I love to give gifts and I love to, just I love making people happy, man. I'm weird. What can I say? And so when I can invite friends and family over and we have a great meal or we play some games or whatever. Yeah, I feel you. I try to
It's
do the exact same thing this time of year.
Yeah, it's I definitely live in the more the merrier philosophy, and and look, it stinks. People's families travel, or I moved 600, 700 miles away from my family. And we do see we absolutely see them, but not so much during the holidays. And I think that that's probably one of the cooler things is we get to see them during the holidays, and or we get to see them throughout the year. And then for the holidays, everyone's got things going on, so I try to bring everybody together. And my house is not that big. I live in a very modest size home, but we make it work, and it's always a good time. Honestly, it's always cool to see people show up. I really don't even ask people to bring anything. It's just, hey, show up, and hang out.
Anyone else here besides me just expecting Harrison to be like, yeah, it's only like 4,500 square feet. It's not that big.
Definitely not. Not this one. This is the starter home.
Okay, okay.
This is the starter home. And I have one foster child. I have no kids of my own yet. So I don't need the big house.
Yeah,
There's a million things that I want, but bigger house, bigger problems.
yeah.
Um, little house, little problems. I just bought a roof and it was like a digestible amount of money, right? It wasn't cheap, but like it wasn't like, okay, I need to sell my car now to pay for it, or go get a kidney removed. Um
Yeah.
so I don't know. I think a lot of people live outside their means. We definitely live well within our means, and that also gives us money to do. I don't say whatever we want, but like within
It feels
reason.
that way.
Yeah,
But it feels
within
that way.
reason.
Well, I'm super glad to have you here, Harrison. Thanks for sharing all of that. Um, so here's the deal, guys. It's been long enough. I think most of you are here now. So I've got our agenda up. We're just going to talk for a couple more minutes, let you guys know a little bit more about us, mostly Harrison. Uh, because I want you guys to understand why Harrison is somebody you should listen to. While he does that, while you get to know him and me a little bit more, I'm going to launch a poll because I'd love if we could get to know you guys a little bit more. So I'll get that going. Harrison, why should people listen to you when it comes to sales and marketing?
They shouldn't.
Oh dear.
Um, that's a crazy thing to say. No, I mean, I don't know. I feel like I don't like bragging, but we've had some pretty crazy success stories. Um, I feel like for anyone that doesn't follow us on YouTube, you're missing out. The YouTube channel is pretty wild. Heck, I'll drop. I don't know if Brandon's in here, but I'll drop it in the chat for anybody if you guys want to go check out the YouTube channel. Um, but like, I don't know. I feel like what we say works. Actually, I would say I will happily say what we tell MSPs to do works. The ones that don't see success almost exclusively, it is from them not implementing the advice that is provided. And by the way, for anyone, if you guys want to chat, I do respond pretty quickly. Quinyon, appreciate that. But like, I don't know, like if it's, I always tell people, look, I'm a fluffy guy myself. You can go, I know how to go get ripped, right? I have to go to the gym, I have to eat super clean, right? I also love Ben and Jerry's, right? So
Mhm.
you gotta, there's you gotta take the good with the bad. I also live a very more sedentary life because I live and work behind a computer screen where I'm not even, I mean, granted, today I'm at my office, but it's not like I walk to my office. Although when the weather starts warming up, I'm definitely in favor of that. Um, but I think it's a lot of taking action, and I just dealt with somebody the other day and they were like, no, I don't want to do any of the, I don't want to do any of this work. And I'm like, okay, but you want these crazy results. You
Mhm.
don't want to do the work. You want somebody else to do the work for you, which is possible, but then you don't want to implement any of the advice or take any of the advice to have somebody do the work. And somehow you think you're going to hit your goal. I don't know. I feel like that's like a pretty unrealistic expectation. Um, you have to, especially with today's webinar specifically, for anyone listening, like you have to do something, right?
Right.
I don't want to make YouTube videos every day. I mean, don't get me wrong, I love making YouTube videos. It's actually like kind of weird because if I go too long without making them, I like start to not, I'm like, I need to go make one. But like
I think they
there's
call that
definitely,
withdrawal.
yeah, like it definitely is to a degree, but like in the beginning I didn't like doing it.
Mhm.
And I feel like a lot of people don't enjoy doing it in the beginning, right? Because you're nervous, you're putting yourself out there. And but then like something magical happens when you actually start to like do even just like a little bit of work, and then the results start to happen. And then but like it's very chicken and the egg. Well, if I do one thing, I didn't see results, so how long do I have to do it to actually see results? And who's actually going to watch it? And I mean, look, I have no problem admitting I thought that stuff too. Like I just the and I don't know if I mentioned this on the last one we did, but when I was a when I started doing YouTube years and years and years ago. I talked about a lot of different things, but I made the MSP content because I was like, all right, I'm never going back into the MSP space. I happen to be, I didn't realize how good I actually was at selling managed services. I just, this is not a flex, but I just was like, I used to remember and I used to know I was taking a ton of my competitors' customers, like constantly. I could walk in, see an access point, see their naming convention on it with like a, one of those little printers, and immediately know I was going to win the deal because I knew everything that they were doing wrong. And I knew that we solved all of the problems that the customer was dealing with. I didn't even need to be in that meeting, but
Right.
obviously you have to tell the customer like what you're solving. So for us, it was, or for me, it was very, very, it was like a game and it was a lot of
Yeah.
fun. It wasn't it was hard. It was a lot of work. And then I left the industry. I was like, I'm never going back. And then I made the videos, and those videos took off. And that was part of the marketing. So like I think a lot of people think like, oh, there's this, and I hear this all the time. Well, what's the process to be super successful in marketing? And that's like saying like, well, what's the process to be super successful in the NFL as a kicker? Right. And I don't even watch sports, but you have to be training all your life. You have to get a ton of different coaches. You have to do a ton of different stretches and yoga, and you have to lift a ton of different weights, and you have to practice and do it. And then as you go through it, you figure out what's going to work best for you. Some people are highly coachable, some people are not highly coachable, and they need to kind of discover and stumble their way through it. Um, Other people want the fast track to success. We have a bunch of members that like take the advice and run with it and then have incredible results, and they're highly coachable. And some people do that and then they don't see results, but at least they now know, hey, this doesn't work for me. Right. And who are you going after? How are you going after them? What's your approach to going after them? And like I always tell people, like, join your local chamber of commerce. It's like the best starting point for an MSP
Yeah.
to, meet people and all that. But some chambers of commerce suck. So it's it's like a bit of a chicken and the egg, but you're never going to figure it out if you don't start doing something.
Okay. Well, thank you for that, Harrison. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Steve Taylor. I am the lead content manager at Alternative Payments, which means I get to do webinars all day, every day. And I love it. Much like Harrison, going through his withdrawal, if he doesn't make a YouTube video in a while, if I don't do a webinar in a while, I too am like, I need to get on Zoom, man. Um, I used to run an MSP for over 10 years. I've been in the IT industry uh, since 2002, which is good. And Lord, it's over 20 years now. Um, so I know a few things because I've seen a few things, if we're going to steal a line from Farmers Insurance. So I'm going to leave that poll up for just another minute or so. But Harrison, did you know that of the people who have answered the poll, some people here don't have a marketing plan. Some sort of have a marketing plan. They've got like a marketing idea, um, but it's not consistent. Some have a plan, but it's not driving the results they want. But nobody has said that they have a plan and it's awesome.
Well,
Um,
I feel like if they did, they probably wouldn't be here. Or maybe they would be, and maybe they want to learn extra.
yeah, I'd like to think, there's always room for improvement, right?
There is always room for improvement. I am going to power through these slides because last time we did this, it was a bit long. And I don't want to say I apologize because I think it's super helpful, but um, I look at your comments in the chat. For my heroes that are on the call, you all know I'm pretty good at reading and speaking. So if you have a question, feel free to ask it. I think it's important for me to make sure that I address any questions that you guys have. At
Yeah.
the end, when I power through this, I'm going to leave more time for Q&A. So especially the people that are like, I have a plan, but it's not driving the results that we want, or I have a loose plan, but we're not consistent. Um, I'm happy to give you guys some more individualized answers specifically for that,
Uh-huh.
to hopefully get you moving in the right direction. Um,
Yeah, we'll run through Harrison's slide deck. We'll hopefully have some time for AMA at the end. And did you also know, Harrison, that the part of marketing that feels hardest to keep consistent is producing enough content and turning leads into real conversations or meetings? That's what everyone here, for the most part, said is the hardest.
wow, it's almost like there's a YouTube video that I've made about that, how to turn one piece of content into like 20.
Yeah.
Wild. Um,
Yeah.
but
And then we're going to take a break here in 15-20 minutes, and we'll do what I like to call our sponsored segment, and then we'll dive right back into some education, okay?
I dig it, brother. I dig
Cool.
it. All right. last minute questions or forever hold your peace. I'm going to dive into the content here. Uh,
No, I think if you want to start sharing, I think we're ready, man.
I love it. Let's share. Replace current share with
Yeah.
boom. Is this okay for everybody? Otherwise, I can like what happened? Hold on here. I saw somebody that said will drop. Well, drop the link to that. Oh, the video you're talking? Hold on, hold tight. It is.
Don't get
It isn't like
distracted, Harrison. That
it
can
is in my
wait.
more recent videos. I'll leave the link there. Yes, please. All right, hang. Trisha, remind me at the end. I promise you, I will get it for you though. But does this format work for everybody? Otherwise, I can like blow it up into the PowerPoint thing. But I do have one ultra wide, so Google doesn't allow me to do. Um, Google doesn't really allow me to
Gotcha.
share in like a section of the screen. It only lets me do full screen, and I have one giant screen, and I'm sure nobody else
Zo-
is.
Zoom lets you do it if you go to it. Just so you know, in the future, this I think is fine. But if you go to advanced after you hit share, you can
Yes,
actually do just a box, and then you can draw the
yes,
box wherever you
but
want.
the slide will not let me put it in its own thing. I have to use PowerPoint for that. It's very technical things. Um,
Correct. Correct. But you can put a box around just the slide.
okay. Mm,
That's all I was saying.
nope. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. Cool. All right. So let's. Oh, I know what you mean now. I get it. I get it. It just clicked.
All good.
Cool. So let's talk about kickstarting your 2026 marketing plan because if you didn't know by now, we are at December 4th, and it
Hmm.
feels like yesterday was Thanksgiving, the day before that was Halloween, and the day before that was the last day of summer. At least in my mind, I'm starting to understand the days are long and the years are short, and I would imagine probably some other
Yep.
people in here are experiencing that as well. So your 2026 marketing plan. I'm going to give you guys a little step-by-step guide on how to roll this out, how to implement it. Take some notes. If you, I don't know if this is being recorded or not, but
Oh, it
if it,
is.
cool. Um, but let's dive into it. Who am I? My name is Harrison Barron. I've worked inside MSPs, not just around them. I've literally worked in them. I started as an unpaid intern, built my career helping IT teams now without sounding salesy. I hate dirty, grimy salespeople, mainly car dealerships. I have a strong, not loving relationship with them because nobody's ever had a great experience with them. I guess now I'm a creator, coach, and I've connected with MSPs across the country. Probably should say across the world now. I've had conversations with I feel like there's probably not many countries left. I run a tech meetup in Charlotte. I run a Discord community with 1,500 plus members, and it's just really it's real conversations. Not somebody called me a hustle culture influencer, and I was like, that's a first, and probably the only time I hope I ever get called that because I don't mind that, but I definitely am not a hustle culture type person.
Mhm.
It takes work to build this. I'm not going to be like, oh, you got to work look, I get it. We all have lives too. Um, but my goal is to help as many MSPs as possible. Who are we? We have a MSP community of 200 and I think now 50 something MSPs in our private community. Been a featured speaker at national events, including Vegas. I need to update that. It's been a little while since I've updated that. I usually use the same couple first slides. Don't come
Mhm.
after me. Um, we helped one MSP grow and exit at mid eight figures. We actually just had another recent success with somebody who started their MSP in 2 years. They didn't get a customer for the first handful of months. So from first customer to exiting in about 15 months, and when I say first, I mean $0 of monthly recurring revenue, $0 of revenue in general, exited for just shy of $3.5 million, which is an insane amount of growth in that time. Our training is used by vendors. We get vendors that reach out to us all the time to ask us for our training or if they're allowed to use our training in their stuff. We have 300,000, probably closer to 400,000 views on YouTube now. And then who are we? Or why are we all here? This is probably the most important thing, right? You guys all have the tools. You probably have the talent, even though you may not realize that you have the talent. And you need a system that helps sell more managed services. I was invited, obviously, by Steve to be here and the alternative payments team. We are an affiliate of theirs. They are really, really cool rock stars. Big fan of what they do and what they produce and help with the community. We run one of the largest MSP YouTube channels. Like I said, more than 300,000 views. Some of this is a little redundant, but you hopefully you guys get the point. But let's talk about what really matters here. I don't want to fill it with fluff, and I don't want to say why we're great because I think that we just do a decent job, but we have some pretty cool results. The truth is, most MSPs struggle with marketing, like across the board, and it doesn't matter how big your MSP is. I have had non-recorded conversations with MSPs that are three, four, five, six, $8 million that are having quite literally the exact same marketing problems that an MSP is having at $10,000 a month or $5,000 a month. It is crazy. And when I say the bar for MSP marketing is so incredibly low, it truly, truly is. They rely only on referrals. They have no plan, which means there's no pipeline of new leads coming in. And truth be told, because competition is a real thing. I don't care what industry you're in. There's always going to be competition. There's always competition increasing. I guess I'm a YouTuber or a part YouTuber. There's always people starting MSP YouTube channels, trying to provide content. Some do a great job. Some of them do maybe not the best job. And now more than ever, right? We've kind of gotten out of the age of I just trust everybody when it comes to technology. Um, Buyers are doing more research before they talk to you, the person watching this webinar. Um, 70% of the decision is made before they actually reach out. And I quite literally had a conversation just like this today. Somebody put in a request on my website and was like, "Hey, I'm 99% sure I'm going to go with you. Can you just give me a call back? I want to check a couple things." He was already sold. He just needed like a quick 30-second conversation. And he's like, "Great. I think everything that you're doing is great. I love what you're doing for the community," and closed them. Right. Um, but a real marketing plan should do a couple different things. It should give you predictable leads. It should give you stronger positioning, clear goals, and action steps, which is really important because you have to have a crystal clear goal, and you need to have a path to success. Just like in sales, there's certain things that you should be doing in order to close those deals. It's the exact same concept when it comes to this, and it should be providing you confidence in that it's actually working. Now, some people in here said that, hey, I'm doing marketing, but I'm not seeing the results. This one's especially for you. So, what we're going to build together today, I hope that you have a pen, a notepad, however you choose to take notes. If you want to, if you're one of those super super talented people, maybe an etch a sketch that you want to take notes on. But however you choose to do that, that's totally up to you. But today you're going to walk with a clear path to 2026 goals that are measurable and achievable. You should be able to walk away with your ideal customer profile. I am going to fly through some of these things. There's going to be some homework involved here for you to have the best results, but I want to be able to share with you and you be able to discover the best lead generation channels for your business, a content plan that positions you as the go-to MSP in your specific market. And this does not matter if it is your region or your ideal customer. It works in both. And a 30-day action plan to put all of this into effect. We've spent we actually spent more on this slide deck than we did on the last one. So if you've been to both, there's a little bit of overlap, but this one is much more geared towards you can take actionable steps throughout this entire thing to actually see success. So we've there's a reason why most MSPs actually fail. And before we talk about how to succeed, we have to make sure that we talk about and address why people are actually failing, because you have to know what doesn't work in order to see success. That is super super important, and I think a lot of people kind of skip over that idea and that concept. Um, so they have no clear target. We help anyone with a computer. I hear it all the time. "Oh, I know
Mhm.
all these people with computers. They're gonna, how do I sell them all services?" Great, you can't. That would be crazy. You can't sell gas to somebody that drives an electric car. It just doesn't work. They are ramming, so they're ramming all over the place. Random acts of marketing. There's no plan, just scattered posts, emails, ads. I see it all the time, especially now with AI. It almost makes it too easy to make posts. Um, and usually they're like not real genuine posts. I'm not saying AI can is a bad thing, but you have to be careful how you use it. They have a massive over reliance on referrals. Referrals are great, Um, I thought that was a pretty cool strategy back in the day until I was like, hey, it's been like a month and a half since I've gotten a referral from somebody. And if I'm going to make money this month, I need to go find some deals. If you're relying on strictly referrals, that strategy sucks. It only kind of works if you have a really good referral strategy. But if you're not regularly acquiring new customers, they can't refer, people aren't just magically going out and finding crowds of people that could be your customer that they could refer you over to. They're super generic, focused on features, and it's all about features, 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 features. They're not selling the solution, which I think is a huge, huge, huge problem. And there's no follow up. There's no nurturing. I don't care what system you use. If you're in MSP Heroes, you get a version of Go High Level with a bunch of stuff. If you are in Tech Tribe, they also provide Go High Level as well. It's a lot more of a bit of a manual process there. Or if you've built something out in HubSpot, Pipedrive, Active Campaign, Keep, it does not matter. But if you do not have automations built out, you'll never actually close deals. The truth is, you don't need more tools. You need a marketing tool. You don't need all of the marketing tools. But more importantly, you need an actual system that you can go through here. So, what is a winning MSP? Now that we know what failures look like, we need to know what winning strategies look like for an MSP marketing plan based on the evidence that I've seen in the last year and year before that. I think, and even what I see still today, which I was hoping that my YouTube channel, I don't know, was somehow going to remedy a lot of these problems. Um, a lot of people still don't have clear and measurable goals. It is crazy to me. If you want to lose weight, you have to have a weight amount in mind or a percentage of body fat loss. If you want to be a marathon runner, you have to say, okay, well, if I want to run 26.2 miles, I
Yeah,
think it's, yeah,
26.2.
yeah. All right, good. 26.2 miles, this time next year. Okay, well, let's figure out a plan. It's okay if you hit it faster, but if you're like, hey, I want to hit five, I want to add another 5 miles every quarter, right? You'd still come up a little short, but you'd be pretty darn close. So how do we adjust that? But you have to have an idea of what that's actually going to look like. We have to define an ideal customer profile. We have to have core messaging that actually connects with people. It is crazy to me how many MSPs say we provide 24/7 support. Great. So does everybody else, right? Well, we provide the best cybersecurity. So does everybody else. Well, we have an emergency line that we can answer phone calls to. Sweet. So does everybody else. It is I think there was a poison pill inserted in the industry years ago of people just saying, "Hey, I want to, or I'm going to use the exact same strategy over and over and over and over again, and hope for the best and hope for change." And hopium is not something worth having. It doesn't help
Well,
anybody.
are you sure that they're using a strategy that has never worked? Like, it had to have worked at some point, right? Because
Yes, years and years and years and years ago.
right. So I think the problem I'm really hearing is, you'll build an SOP, go out to a customer, say these things, hand them a contract, they'll sign, profit, right? That's how it worked back in the old day. Back in 2008. But that doesn't work anymore. And the problem is they're not tracking enough metrics to be able to see, okay, this used to work, but lately it hasn't been working as well, if at all. So now I need to change my approach. They're just hoping that the same old thing will keep doing what it used to do.
Yes, 100%. Um, horse and buggy is still around.
I know some people who use them. They're
No,
Amish.
no shade, right? Against it. It's a wildly efficient form of transportation, even
Sure.
till today. You're definitely not making it to California in a cannonball run in 20 less than 24 hours. But like, yeah, I mean, if you want to get from point A to point B and you have an unlimited amount of time, yeah, I mean, it still works. Um, for sure. But just because it worked back in the day, and the problem with marketing is Google's changed their algorithm. AI has shaken things up dramatically. Marketing systems have gotten way easier to use, right? Which is fantastic for everybody. There's still a lot of things out there that, like, now, I mean, I'm sure we've all seen an AI video at this point, from the comically funny ones to ones that are so incredibly amazing that it's like truly a show-stopping image where you're like, how did I just saw one today of a girl sitting on the hood of a car, leaning against the hood of a car in a foreign country, and you can see in the background the lights of like a city, and it's all like black skies. I mean, I was like, this is like genuinely a great picture made
Yeah.
by AI. So things are constantly changing. And believe it or not, most MSPs don't have a simple lead funnel. It is crazy to me how often I see this. They have a mid tier website. There's no lead magnet for anyone to even exchange an email address, to get email nurtured, to then book a call. I feel like that's like the most basic thing, and the amount of MSPs that don't have it is wild. And then obviously the tracking and automations tool for that as well. That is also something that is super important, at least just so you can know. And then, there's lead scoring and all the other super advanced things. But for the sake of this webinar, I don't want to get super, super crazy with that. Does anybody have any questions up to this point? So I'm going to let Steve jump in after.
Yeah.
If you do, leave it in the chat, please.
Oh, I got to check one other spot because there's a Q&A section too that they may be using, but they're not. No chats, no Q&A. So, hey, why don't we take a break here? Um, because why not? You don't have to stop your share.
Oh, okay.
Um, so here's what we're gonna do. I'm gonna spend 2 minutes talking about my company. Harrison can talk a couple minutes about his company, and once we're done, each of us will have polls that we launch. You can let us know if you're interested in learning more, and then we're gonna go right back into education, guys. So this is gonna be 5 minutes or less. So, with that said, we're talking about getting your 2026 marketing in order because, well, none of that matters right now if the money part is still held together with, I don't know, duct tape and wishful thinking. So, since we're talking about planning and consistency today, this is where I usually remind folks that your billing shouldn't feel like a side quest that you never signed up for. That's really the heart of what we do here at Alternative Payments. We help MSPs clean up the messy part between sending invoices, getting paid, and reconciling it all on your billing platform. So we give your clients a clean, simple portal that they can log in, see their invoices, update payment methods, and pay however they want: ACH, debit card, credit card, all in one place. It removes friction for you and for them, which is usually where most of the billing chaos hides. Um, on your side, everything is automated end to end. Invoices are going to go out, reminders go out, payments come in, deposits land in the bank account they should. We create the deposit in your accounting platform. Everything reconciles beautifully. So whether you're using QuickBooks, Xero, FreshBooks, NetSuite, the list goes on. If you look here in the top right corner, we integrate with 15, possibly more solutions today, specifically for MSPs. And the whole goal is to help your accounting team work smarter, not harder. Uh, so I'm going to throw up a quick poll. And if you're thinking, yeah, this might actually save us some time, maybe even some money, then all you have to do is choose the option that says a conversation couldn't hurt, because honestly, it couldn't. Harrison, sir,
Yes.
I leave the floor to you now.
Cool. All right. So back to the content here.
Oh, no, no commercial for you?
Oh yeah, yeah. Sorry. So, um, I don't know. I mean, like and subscribe on YouTube. I mean,
Subscribe on YouTube. Okay.
I mean, if you guys want to learn more about us, you can go to growth-generators.com. We offer a membership to MSPs, where you come in, learn from me. There's direct coaching 5 days a week, 6 times a week, 5 days a week from us. You get go high level a ton, along with tons of pre-built systems already in there. That's, I guess, technically what we sell. But if you're an MSP that's like, hey, I want some more resources or to learn more, obviously YouTube is going to be a great resource. But we have a ton of free downloads that you can use. If you stink with objections, you can go grab the objections handling worksheet. And it's the most common objections. Like I hate when companies are like, oh, here you go. Here's this like little slide deck, or here's this like helpful thing. And it like kind of sucks. I really try not to skimp on anything. Like if you're going to give me your most valuable asset, which is your time, I'm going to give you the most value I possibly can, to where I probably should be charging for it and I don't. But like marketing cheat sheets, if you need help with marketing and you're going to spend money on marketing, like it's there. It's a really in-depth cheat sheet, and there's trainings that are associated with these, and you can find YouTube videos, buyer persona templates. So I say all that lovingly because I think a lot of people really struggle. And when I say our mission is really to help as many MSPs in the world as possible, it is really that goal. And because you're all here, I'm going to get you. I'm going to leave you, and I'm going to give you one very large thing I've been working on lately, especially if you're a regular subscriber to YouTube. My MSP heroes already know this, but I am releasing a book probably next week. There's no like pre-sale or anything like that available yet, um, but probably in about a week from now, assuming everything goes off without a hitch. Fingers crossed, very aggressively, and my toes, but we're coming out with a book. So if you want to learn more without committing to a membership or anything like that, but our membership is $7 for 7 days. We offer a 30-day money back guarantee, and you can cancel anytime. Like it is, we try to make it a no brainer deal for MSPs. And if you like it, great. If you don't like it, be on your merry way. And if you're really unhappy, ask for a refund. Like I don't really care. I don't want people's money if they're not happy with it.
Good for you.
Um, yeah, man, that's about us.
All
Back to
right.
our regular occurring episode.
You got it. I'm gonna pop up a poll for Harrison. If you're interested in learning more about how growth generators could help your MSP, feel free to answer that poll now. Meanwhile, Harrison, the floor is yours. Let's dive back in, man.
Um, cool. So let's talk about the next slide here. Setting clear marketing goals.
Hmm.
SMART goals specifically. It's an acronym. I didn't come up with it. It's been around for a while now. Um, but we can't just say we're going to get more leads, because if we don't define the leads, nothing else really matters. And we have to make sure that we define who a lead actually is, and then we have to meet and set goals, SMART goals specifically, in order to meet those goals to generate the number of leads, right? So SMART is specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Spoiler. Actually, I'll just put this in chat for you guys because I'm on the editable version, and I would rather you guys pay attention than have to try to copy and paste things
There you
or
go.
write it down. Um, but specific is, what exactly do you want, right? You have to know exactly what you want. If you want to hit $10,000 recurring revenue, that's a great goal. That's very specific. If you want to get to 5 leads or 3 leads per month, that's a great specific goal. But if you just say, I want more leads, or I want unlimited number of leads, like that sounds good for YouTube, but that's not reality. You have to measure it, right? How are you going to actually track that progress? This is where a CRM actually comes into play. Like I said, you can use Go High Level, Pipedrive, HubSpot. I'm going to throw up a little bit when I say this. Salesforce, um, Active
Come on,
Campaign.
it's not that bad.
It's not that good either.
Oh,
Um, I'm an anti-Salesforcer. It's just it's a great tool if you have a full-time engineer to build and work on it. Um, So, achievable. What's realistic? 100 goals next month is probably not realistic for most MSPs. But getting, 2 or 3 leads, or even 1 lead, if you don't get any leads next month, is probably pretty realistic. And then you can increase that over time. If you're, maybe it's 1 lead in January, maybe it's, or 1 lead every month for the first quarter, and 2 leads every month for the second quarter, and 3 leads every month for the third quarter, and so on and so forth. Yeah. I mean, that's definitely you know, achievable, and is it relevant? Are these leads actually going to help your MSP? I think a lot of people have this idea of like a lead is like a piece of contact information. It's a piece of contact information with somebody that can actually buy your stuff, you buy your services, buy your hardware, and then it has to have some kind of time boundaries on it. It needs to be able to say, okay, right. So one of our goals that we fell short on was 300 members by the end of this year. That was our stretch goal, but our real goal was 250 members by the end of this year, and we're
Mhm.
going to hit it, which is sweet. So those are important things to think of. And then some quick examples: generate 20 leads per month by July 2026. Depending on where you are, that might be highly achievable, or that might be under what you're currently achieving. Double website conversion rate by June, right? And launch 3 lead magnets in quarter 1. I think all those things are super, super achievable, to have people actually go through and do. So let's talk about your buyers. This is the single most important thing that you need to think about when it comes to marketing. Every single thing that you do in marketing has to be geared towards this hyper specific person. If you do anything that your dream buyer, your ICP, right? And since I'm sharing my screen here, there is a buyer persona on our thing, and I'll probably drop the link for it. Actually, I will drop the link for it because I want you all to have it. Um, but if you fill out that buyer persona worksheet, right, it will help you with marketing dramatically, because everything that you're going to do, every blog post, every TikTok, every YouTube video, every reel, every Facebook post should be geared towards your dream customer. Now, I gave an example one here. Um, so something funny, right? Tech stress Tina, industry dental practices, but specifically her role is the office manager, because what the office manager is going to deal with is dramatically different than what the dentist is, the dentist or the oral surgeon is going to be dealing with, or the
Right.
orthodontist, right? That her role is to make sure patients come in and out. The dentist is there to drill teeth and put on crowns. The orthodontist is there to put on braces or remove braces, and the oral surgeon is there to make people's lives more miserable than they probably already are. um, I say that lovingly, by the way. I've had 4 teeth pulled. But all of those people have wildly different problems. We
Mhm.
can't fill their life with tech jargon, and they don't understand our tech jargon, right? They might understand a little bit. So if we say, hey, we help you with your PMS system, right? Your patient management system, that's a real thing, right? Or hey, we love uh DPS stuff problems, like dental practice software problems. So Curve Dental, Dentrix, EagleSoft are some of the main ones. They understand that, right? But what they want, and what we want them to tell us is, I just want this off my plate. I just don't want to deal with this. Our last, and you're going to hear things. Our last IT guy ghosted us. They don't understand the problems. They don't understand why we need a server. They want us to go to the cloud. It's too expensive to go to the cloud, right? They don't even know what the cloud is. They think it's, the invisible internet that's floating above. They don't know it's a warehouse with a server in it that, a big Fortune 500 probably manages, right? Your
Mhm.
buyer isn't just an office manager, though, or an IT lead. They are typically overloaded with vendors and vendor problems. They're skeptical to talk about sales. They're skeptical. Some of them are skeptical with change because they know that their life might suck or be miserable at work now, right? And I don't mean that like they're miserable people, but like they have tech problems. They, not,
Mhm.
things aren't working the way that they want them to work, so that they could do their job and be happy, and then go home and be happy, right? Um, these are important things, right? They might not want change. They're also concerned about AI, how AI is impacting their businesses. They're concerned about compliance. In this case, Tech Stress Tina might be worried about HIPAA. And if the dentist hears that there's a potential HIPAA violation, they're going to blow a gasket, and Tina's going to be, you know, I'm sure we've all probably seen somebody get verbally abused at work, right? And the rising costs of everything, right? I have 10 chickens, uh, eggs. I never haven't looked at egg prices, but I did the other day, and I did a couple times through a pandemic, and they're way more expensive than I remember. Um, and the truth is, they're judging you before they even talk to you. They're judging you based on your appearance, how you look, if you look like a tech person, anything like that, logoed
Mhm.
apparel, non-logoed apparel. Um, how you present yourself, how you engage with, and and interact with with their technology. If you're not poking your head looking at all the tech, are you really a tech person? Should they actually trust you? These are important things to think about. I would hope everybody on this call is tech e to a degree.
Mhm.
And we have to think about text Tina and the messaging that's actually going to convert her over. Right? It has to be fast, easy to consume, has to be clear. You should be writing at a fifth or sixth grade reading level. I know that sounds crazy to some of you. If you're not sure how to do that, put in whatever you want to say to that person into ChatGPT and say spit it out in that format. It has to be relevant. They don't want messaging saying like, "We're going to keep your system secure." They could care less about that. Hey, if you're worried about your server sitting in a server closet, or potentially even worse, being in an operatory that could get covered in, could get hit by water, a patient could knock it over. These are things that are relevant to that person. So your messaging should be pain focused, solving the problem. That is really important. How they feel right now. Clear, no jargon, right? A dentist, knows that most people know, hey, you have molars and you have canine teeth and all that, but they're not going through and saying, hey, number 32 is giving us an issue or number 18 is giving us an issue, right? That's how they do teeth, but that's not how real people talk about teeth, right? Has to be clear, no jargon, no fluff, no confusion. We want it to be super, super, super simple. Outcome driven. What's in it for them? In this case, tech Tina, she probably doesn't want to deal with tech. She just wants to do her job, which is being an office manager and not have to deal with all the problems that come with it. And
Mhm.
then it has to be quick to consume. Super clear headlines, short form videos. You can do long form videos too. Call to action in the first, 5, 10, 15 seconds. Hey, if you want to learn more, check us out. Right. In all my videos, if you're a subscriber, hey, this is Harrison Barron from Growth Dash Generators. I say it always after the hook. We're going to talk about this today. By the way, my name is Harrison Barron from Growth Generators.com. We help MSPs with sales and marketing, and I know it probably way too well. I would hope so. It's my YouTube channel, but you have to have some kind of call to action in there. And then throughout the video and throughout the thing, I ask for more calls to action. Like, subscribe, tell me how I don't have hair. I try to make people laugh in some of my videos. Some people find me funny. My wife, on the other hand, sometimes doesn't. But hey, that's why I use YouTube as an outlet. We help dental offices eliminate downtime, pass HIPAA audits without ever needing to call their IT provider. Something super simple like that. You want to stop trying to sound super smart. You want it to just be obvious. You want somebody to look at that and say, that makes total sense to me. And if you can't get that, the rest of this entire PowerPoint is useless. We have to make sure that everything that we do, once again, is related to tech stressed Tina. If we don't do that, you're never going to succeed. We have to know exactly who it is. So that way we can come up with smart goals and that we can come up with smart messaging that reaches that person. So, where MSP buyers actually spend their time, right? I've kind of given you now a process on who to go target, how to track your goals to actually hit your goals, right? And the goals that you should probably have or and to set for yourself. We want to pick 2 to 3 of them, right? If you're like, "Hey, that's a lot, 2 of them," pick 1 of them, right? But I gave you some quick little things here. YouTube is great for researching answers. In this case, if you provide weekly videos that have some SEO built into them on friendly topics that they are going to find helpful, that's a great resource. That's literally how I built my entire business and why Steve and I are on a call right now. Um, LinkedIn's another one, great for vetting vendors. There's a lot of sales stuff that goes on there. It also depends on where your target market is hanging out on. The office
Mhm.
manager of the dental practice is probably not on LinkedIn. I said what I said. They might be, but the dentist might be, right? Um, the strategy for LinkedIn, personal posts, DMs, I would not spend really any time and effort on your LinkedIn business profile. Um, if you guys want an example, I'll do a quick example, but that's up to you guys. Um, but emails are great, staying informed. Drip emails. Hey, it's every 6 months. You can set them up on an email track for all of your customers. Hey, by the way, it's 6 months since your last appointment. You should probably come in and also do yourself a favor, go buy a new toothbrush because it's not that hard, right? We could do the exact same thing. Hey, it's been 6 months. When was the last time you turned off your computer? And before anyone's like, that's something stupid, I cannot tell you how many times I have been in somebody's office and I'm like, wow, this computer's been on for 180 days. I saw a computer that was on for 3 years. I don't even know how the person was using it. Like, I don't know how
Isn't
they
it
didn't have a
crazy?
power outage that would stop it. Mind blowing to me. Um, Servers too. Hey, it's the first of the month. Do yourself a favor, power off your server correctly, or have your IT provider turn off your server so that way you can like take a break. Um,
Mhm.
I don't know. Like, there's so many valuable things. Hey, here's a weekly tip on making sure you don't get hacked. Right. Uh, Voice impersonations with AI. You have making sure you don't click on fake emails and a quick little phishing training. There's so many like super easy things out there. And don't just be like, well, Harrison, I'm going to go take Microsoft stuff and I'll just, no, that's terrible. Don't do that. Don't use anything provided by one of these mega corporations. They're just trying to sell their services and use you to push their stuff. Not that it's bad, but they want to hear from you. They don't want to hear from Microsoft. Google Maps, local SEO, Google My Business, urgent needs, finding you, reviews are great for building trust, profiles, quick call to action, and then short term videos, great for browsing, brand awareness, retargeting, all that kind of stuff. Next, we have building a lead funnel. I actually just built this the other day. I'm super proud of it. So there is 5 main steps that people are going to go through before they're actually going to convert into a deal, right? Somebody that can spend real money with you every single month, right? First is awareness. You have to generate some kind of awareness. YouTube, SEO, social posts, referrals, events, however it is that you decide to get your name out there is totally up to you. Next, we have to capture those people. This is using a lead magnet, could be a template, a pricing template, a checklist, guides. Hey, how to avoid HIPAA fines in 2026? I don't know, something super catchy like that. And I'm just using HIPAA because we're dealing with tech stress, Tina, and she's had a lot of tech stress in her life. We want to nurture them. Emails, short form videos, even long form videos, case studies, FAQs. We want to teach them how to buy IT support, even if they're not going to buy from us. We want to give them, the font is too small on this funnel slide. Okay. All right. All right. All right. Hold on here. This is actually available to download on our website too. And I know Brandon's in here. Brandon, if you want to drop the link in chat, that would be helpful. I'm pretty sure it's available. But we have the ability to, um, oh, there's a QR code at the end to download it. Thank you, Brennan. Um, right, emails, short videos, case studies, things like that that can help somebody and educate them on the right way to buy IT services. And guess what? If you're educating them, that means you're being in front of them. That means there is a significantly higher likelihood that they're going to go with you versus somebody else, right? Then you got to engage with them. Join a webinar, get on a call, discovery call, audit. You can do penetration testing, show them what to look for, warm touches, right? That get people a little bit excited about it. Maybe it's just a quick 15-minute discovery call to see if it's worth having a full blown like a full blown on-site discovery call. Needs audit proposal for that actual conversion, right? Because usually if they're doing a discovery call, you should have a pretty high close rate following that discovery call. But at the point when they're ready to convert, the client should absolutely already know who you are and what you do. By no stretch of the imagination should there be any gray area there. If there is, I gotta set this back to 100% here, or better yet, fit. But if there's any issues with that customer or potential customer not knowing who you are and what you do, they're never going to close, right? We want them to be excited to work with us, not dragging their feet, super unhappy about, oh, they're just trying to pitch me. They should be ready, knowing exactly what's in there, maybe a couple questions. You want to make sure that they're a good fit for you, and they want to make sure that you're a good fit for them. Um, so, your 2026 content engine, what still works today? So, this is something I get all the time. Most MSPs post random junk online. I've already talked about this, but I want to talk to you about what's working right now that I keep seeing constantly with some of the most successful MSPs out there. YouTube explainer videos, believe it or not. If you follow Lawrence Systems, he's talked about it many times now. Explainer videos and teaching people on YouTube is gold. Case
Mhm.
studies told like a story is huge. Short form educational content, 60 seconds or less. Quick little, we all have cell phones here. I'd find it hard to believe that somebody on here doesn't have a cell phone, right? If you have one of those rotary phones, God bless, right? Take your phone, record a selfie. Hey, this is so and so giving you your tech tip of the day. By the way, did you know that The reason the airlines went down back in the day was CrowdStrike. CrowdStrike they hired an employee that pushed out an update that grounded all planes. It was a miserable time to be alive. Here's the thing: if you worked with a technology company, doesn't matter if it's me or somebody else, we could have done XYZ thing, or at least we could have helped with XYZ problem. There's a million things out there that you can make a video on. It doesn't have to be 5, 10. Trust me, I make videos that are 12 to 20 minutes long. Usually it's a lot of content to make. You don't have to go super crazy like that. Build some checklists and ROI calculators. What does it look like when you work with an MSP? How much downtime do you avoid? How can they leverage this checklist to avoid these tech problems? And then email follow ups that teach, not sell. It is so often that people just have these like automations that just like force the sale down the person's throat, and it never works right. You have to make sure that you're teaching and educating them, because an educated buyer is the best kind of buyer. And what doesn't work anymore? Featured lists. Oh my God, I hear it all the time. Oh, well, how do I sell this one service? They don't care about that service. They don't. It's You're not selling the latest Nikes. It's not going to work, right? Or they don't understand the latest tech. They care about the latest tech in their industry, but they don't care about the latest tech in our industry. Monthly tech tip newsletter. Oh, vomit. They're not bad, but they're not great. And usually the tech tips suck because you don't know who you're talking to. Brochures and service menus, unless you're at a conference or a convention, they're pretty much useless. Can't tell you how many times I see like people's websites without call to actions on them, and then super generic blogs. Like, what is a firewall is not bad, but what does a firewall do for a dental office makes a heck of a lot more sense than what is a firewall. If you want, faster results, create bingeable content that solves one pain point at a time, right? You have to create content that like somebody's like, oh, okay, here's this problem. Okay, how do I solve this problem? Boom, you happen to have a video for it. So the challenge is to sell technology without talking about technology, kind of. The challenge is to sell technology is to know that you're selling technology, but you're not selling technology. You're selling a solution for them. A car, the reason why car salespeople suck is because car salespeople are a commodity. It's so easy to get a car nowadays, and nobody likes to deal with the hassling of going back and forth. At the end of the day, a car does predominantly one main job for most people: from get you from point A to point B. Now, here's the difference between car salespeople, great car salespeople, and crappy car salespeople. Crappy car salespeople are just trying to get you in a car. They want to get you in a car, they want to get paid, and they want you to go home. Great car salespeople understand why you're buying that car and understand the value that it provides when you actually go buy that car. And I'll give you some examples. The Volvo XC90 is the safest car that's ever been made, ever, bar none. Nobody to date has ever died in that vehicle from a car accident.
I didn't know that. I drive one.
It is an XC90 made by
Yeah.
Volvo. So that person selling a Volvo is not selling a Volvo. What they're selling is the safest way for you to take your most prized and valuable possession, your kids
Your life.
and your animals and your life, to get it from point A to point B.
Hmm.
A Toyota Sienna or a Honda Odyssey are minivans. There's plenty of people that make minivans out there. You have the Chrysler Pacifica, I think is what it's called.
Hmm.
You have the Kia Carnival. You have all these minivans. But the reason people buy a Toyota is for its safety and reliability. They want to know that when they need to get their kids to soccer practice, it's not, is my car going to turn on? It's extreme reliability, knowing that you're going to get your kids there in a vehicle that's designed to take them and all their friends in the car and make your life
Yeah.
easy. That's what you're selling. It's not about, hey, we sell the best. I just had this conversation the other day with an MSP who decided not to sign up with us, and that's besides the point. But he's like, well, you don't get it. I'm like, what do you mean? What do I not get? He's like, well, we're trying to sell. We provide enterprise grade security for small businesses, and I go, so is everybody else for the most part. And he's like, no, no, you don't understand. We go above and beyond for learning the security. And I go, great. Your website, your messaging, every time I've talked to you has not reflected that that is your main goal. And if your customers don't understand that that's what they get when they work with you, it doesn't really matter what you sell. You can sell the cure to cancer. If you can't communicate that you're selling the cure to cancer, guess what? You don't sell anything important.
Hmm.
Do cold emails still work? Yes,
Yeah,
if
but
you target the right people and have the right messaging for the right targets.
and you're going to burn through your list using cold emails. You're
Yeah,
going to get higher unsubscribes, which any good email marketing platform is going to
ban you from.
raise their eyebrow at you if your unsubscribe is too high. Like I think HubSpot says they expect us to be at like 0.54% unsubscribes.
Yeah, it's
half
it's low.
half a percent.
Yeah,
It's yeah.
and then
So
cold bounces. But if you target Textrastina and you get a list of Textrastinas,
yeah.
right, and you do cold emailing to those people, yeah, 100%, that can absolutely work. The problem with cold emailing is most people don't do cold emailing right, and then they have really bad results, and then they get really unhappy because they have really bad results, and they think it's the marketing platform or they think it's the person that they hired to build out the emails. Meanwhile, it's the targeting. It's almost always the targeting. Um, so I'll give you some tools. I'm sure you guys like shiny objects like myself. Give you some quick tools here. What about postcards? Yeah, snail mail works. It's fantastic. Once again, you got to focus on Textrastina. If you send if you send a postcard out to everybody, right, and you're like, hey, um, better yet, I'll use an example, right? We're installing electrical chargers for Teslas, and I send that postal card out to everybody in a town. Well, there's only a very small percentage of those people actually have Teslas that can benefit from my services. But if I curate a list, I spent a little more time focusing on everyone that has a Tesla in that town, and I only sent postcards to those people in that town that have Teslas. Well, yeah, then it's actually going to work. Do you have any experience with Glass Hive CRM? Yes. It's a really, really cool platform. It is very limited on what it can and can't do. I don't, my only gripe with Glass Hive, and I've seen it. It's good. They have a bunch of stuff as far as messaging goes. It does lack some of the more commercial grade features out there, personally. And there is so one of the benefits that people get when they work with us or Tech Tribe or anyone that sells. I'm skipping around here. Anybody that sells Go High Level is we can actually implement and basically throw on funnels and that kind of stuff. Um, Specifically at Growth
Mhm.
Generators, we have literally Fridays, tomorrow at 12 o'clock at noon is dedicated to Go High Level. So if you have questions, you want to set up funnels, anything like that, Brandon, who's in chat, is my Go High Level expert, and he works with me. But you don't really get that with Glass Hive. It's a great platform otherwise. It comes with a bunch of already preloaded stuff from Microsoft and things like that. The problem with all of those things is when you're getting marketing materials from most companies out there, they're just trying to get you to push their products. So Office 365 tools, Microsoft Defender, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you're selling the tool and you're not selling the solution, which is almost always not the best thing out there. That's my only gripe with Glass Hive. Other than that, it's a pretty sweet platform. I'm actually pretty impressed with what they have built. And there's also no training out there. If you go on YouTube and you try to find like helpful like answers and tips for Glass Hive, it's not nothing against them. They just haven't built it yet. So I'm sure it'll come at some point. But there's not like with HubSpot, Zoho, Go High Level, even Salesforce. There's tons and tons and tons and tons of videos that you can consume and learn from.
Mhm.
That's really my gripe with Glass Hive. Um, if you want training and that kind of stuff, you have to put in a ticket or you can only work with what they have. Email marketing, ConvertKit, MailChimp, Go High Level Email Builder, content creation, SEO, Koala.sh. I think they might still have their Black Friday deal still up. I don't know. It's a really, really sweet program. Nope, it ended yesterday. I'm sorry, it was 40% off. Then maybe they have a Christmas one. Videos and visuals, Loom. I use OBS for my stuff. Descript is another one. Automations and bookings, Zapier, Calendly, Go High Level workflows. I use Go High Level for pretty much everything. It's nice and built in one platform. When done answering Glass Hive questions, do you have a simple marketing materials for what to say when marketing to certain industries? I don't have a. I, we have it in our membership. I don't give it away for free. I have to make money somehow. I love you all dearly, but there has to be something that we charge for.
That's
Um,
fair.
you
Yeah.
know,
We
it's
we have like a couple more minutes for questions. While you guys pop those questions into the chat, Harrison, are there any other slides that you needed to get through?
let's see, website traffic, Google Analytics, Search Console, YouTube, create lead magnets, discovery calls, close rates, email click through. This is like a good your metrics that you should track
Yeah.
um, for people. And then, oh, here's your 30-day marketing plan.
There you go.
I think that's pretty much it, right? This is if you want to get that funnel, you can scan it. I'll Brandon, if we could drop that link in chat, that would be huge. But so people can grab this. This is probably the most important part about it. Thank you, Brendan. Um, but yeah, Dan, reach out to us. I will send me a message in the platform or post it, and I'm happy to get you the links for that, Dan. Um,
Beautiful.
but yeah, that's your marketing plan for the next month, 30 days. You can get all this done easily in 30 days. If you put your, if you spend, I always tell people marketing is like going to the gym. You can do a lot of marketing in one day and you'll see some results and you're going to be really sore tomorrow, but you have to do it a little bit every single day. Um, Even 15 or 20 minutes is still better, or a couple times a week is still better than no times a week or one really aggressive session where you're constantly pushing it more and more and more forward. And there's the link for the funnel from before, but those are the important things, right? To actually go through and do.
Now, Harrison, for those of us with decent health insurance, maybe we don't care to go to the gym, but for about the price of a gym membership, and you could get a prescription to Ozempic. So what's the Ozempic of marketing, Harrison?
Uh, I mean, you still have to go in your car and get it and go to the doctor and get prescribed it. So there's still
Yeah,
work to get Ozempic. It's just not as much work.
yeah.
Um, but if you really want the prescription to like do it, there's a YouTube video that I have. It's like how to turn one piece of content into like 20 pieces. Um, but like pick one avenue that you're good at. My recommendation always is if you're comfortable on camera, the best
Mhm.
camera on the market, by the way, if anyone's watching my video, is without spending a ton of money, is this. It's called an OBSBot. I literally have one right there. It's a magnetic base. It's like $130. This camera, I should just unplug it. This camera is sick. It looks almost as good. I could drop a link for it. It looks almost as good as a DSLR. I'm using $1,000 plus DSLR at the moment, and this camera looks
Mm.
almost as good. Invest in this camera specifically, and invest
See, I
in.
personally prefer the Elgato Facecam Pro, but you
Is that what
know,
you're using?
it is.
Oh, that's a good
This
camera.
is an Elgato Facecam.
Um, you can do that. Elgato Facecam Pro is another one, and then get the uh be six. And I'll just drop the links to these tools. But you need a webcam and you need a microphone, and start making content.
Mhm.
And then if you want the easy route, you use ChatGPT. I'm giving you guys like the secret sauce. Have it give you 10 or 15 ideas based on, Tech Stress Tina or whoever you're going after, right? And have it create those ideas, create a couple longer format pieces of video. From there, then go through and use tools to dissect those. Koala will turn your video into a blog post. You can post that longer video on on YouTube. You can have CapCut or a ton of these other ones cut up your video in a smaller form content and post that. And then you only have to realistically make one piece of content, one long form video to get a blog post, several social media posts, several small form videos, and you can use all of those things in your email marketing and messaging to help you close. So it's one large piece of content that you can use basically several times over. That is that is literally the easiest thing that you could possibly do with all of this.
There you guys have it.
If you're like, hey, I really just don't want to do that much work, and you can do that if you record one video every single week. Heck, you could do one video every other week. It's two long form videos a month, and don't worry if you don't love them. But if you break it up
Yeah.
and you spread it out correctly, you can easily make 24 videos and get an entire year worth of content out of it.
Hmm.
Is it the I would prefer to you do more, but like if you're like, hey, that's the most I can do, and then in every video put a call to action to a lead magnet. You have to make the lead magnet, or you can get one from MSP Heroes, but you have to make the lead magnet.
Okay.
And the offer I made everybody last time, and I'm going to make it this time. If you are not an MSP hero, you have until tomorrow, and I will include a one-on-one session with you. It's free. There's a coupon code once you buy in the membership area. You can use that coupon code. It's available one per member, and you can sit down with me for an hour. No strings attached, no upsells, no nothing. We only have that as our like package. Um, but you can sit down with me and I'll help you one on one with it. That's the deal available till tomorrow, and then after that, the coupon code stops working.
Very nice.
I try to be like super helpful. I can't give it all away, but like we do have to make some kind of money. I have to pay for my roof. It wasn't cheap, but it wasn't that expensive.
I mean, roofs are important though. So
They are that they
yeah,
are.
I'm told they protect you from things like the elements.
That they do.
Yeah.
That they do. There's some truth behind that statement.
Well, Harrison, this was incredible. You are always a wealth of knowledge. I really appreciate you, guys. I'm sure you might have more questions. Hopefully, you can ask Harrison those questions in the membership area of Growth Generators. If for some reason you can't, you can always respond to the follow up email you're going to get tomorrow with the recap of this webinar. So don't fret if you're like, man, I really need to see this again. You're gonna get a recording sent to you tomorrow. Okay.
You
So
can
thank
also jump in the Discord and ask me questions there.
yeah. Yeah,
Steve's
I
in the Discord
forgot.
too, by the way. So you
Steve
can
is technically in the Discord.
you can ping both of us in the Discord. We'll answer
Exactly.
immediately. I always do best effort. It's completely free. There's no like cost or anything associated with it. But if you'd like to join the Discord and come hang out with us, you're welcome to.
Hey, can I be selfish for a minute?
Yeah.
Personally, not work related. Hey, since I have a room filled with MSPs, I have
Huh?
a quick technical question. My power keeps going out, and I want to know, what do you guys think of those, like the Anchor Solix or EcoFlow, Blue Eddy, those new Life PO4 battery backup things? Are those any good? Like, if I get one of those, am I going to be able to keep my network rack up for like 4 to 6 hours? Because I remember, the last time I was buying battery backups, they were like CyberPower APC, and it's like, oh, we'll keep your desk running for 6 minutes. I'm like, well, what? And that wasn't good. So if you guys have a recommendation, it can be brief. I was a tech. I just I have not researched this well enough, and I just want to know, are these things good enough? Should I invest hundreds of dollars into these batteries or not? So pop that into the chat for me. I'd appreciate it. Harrison, while we see if anyone's going to offer me free tech support, I really I really appreciate you coming on here. I really do, man. It's always a pleasure. I look forward to these conversations. Hopefully we'll have a few more next year together. And do you have anything great going on for Christmas, man?
Just the launch of the book, man. I'm pumped. It's going to be a lot. Um, I'm very very excited for it. I don't think that there has ever been. To give you an idea, I gave Grok my book and said, "Grok, what do you think of the book?" And it rated my book as the number two book, which was pretty cool.
Behind what? The Bible?
That would be a real honor. No, believe it or not, Carl Palanchuk's MSP services in a month was the
Okay.
number one pick, which I still think is highly applicable to today's day and age. But I was very
Yeah.
shocked to see that that was what it was recommending um, for like good like great books, but it said it rated my book number 2 and that book is number 1 in the best MSP books released. How can we get the book? It will be available on Amazon. If you're here now, what's the name of the book and when is it launched? All right, it's not launched yet. I'm getting the all right. I don't want to give too
We
much
think
information.
it's launching next week. Like he
It
finished the book, but he's
yes.
self-publishing. So this is all a mystery to him as much as
Yes.
it is you.
Yes. So I didn't know this, but when you write a book, you have to get it designed in a very specific format.
Mhm.
My designer, the cover is already done. The cover looks sick, by the way. Um, the cover's already done. The name of the book is the MSP Growth Playbook. Um, and if you're in the MSP Heroes, if you're in the Discord, you could have voted on it. But the name of the book is the MSP Growth Playbook: Systems, Pricing, and Mindset to Turn Clients into Cash Flow and Chaos into Freedom. Super cool name, by the way, in my opinion. But and I'm also highly biased. The cover's done. I'm as soon as the internal pages are actually designed, which I should be getting them back at some point tomorrow night. I plan on spending the entire weekend making sure it's actually available. And I promise I will email the heck out of everyone on this call, as well as you'll see it probably in the next upcoming videos. And then if you want to get a signed one, am I still sharing my screen? I am still sharing my screen. There
Yep.
will be a probably like a shop tab somewhere up here or a book tab. It'll be up here, or you can actually go to the mspgrowthplaybook.com, which there's nothing that lives there now, but it'll be pointing to this page when it's available. But if you want a signed version, you can buy it directly through the website. If you want it to just be, shipped to you, it'll be available on Amazon. I'm literally waiting for this book to finish. As soon as she gives it back to me, I have like a couple more tweaks. I'm waiting on a brand new headshot I took, and then it'll be live. It is so incredible. I could taste how close it is.
It tastes like bacon.
It just in time for Christmas. Yes. I'm super, super, super excited for it. Um, in there I talk about how I failed English class. It's gonna be kind of funny. And if anyone's wondering, I'm gonna get it out of the way now. Yes, I had AI help me write the book. It is all my words, but I failed English and I don't know how to structure things correctly. So it's all my words, it's all my thoughts, it's all everything, but AI helped organize it so that way it's not a disaster for somebody to actually read. Um,
That's reasonable.
somebody asked me about that and I'm like, it's like, it is me. Like I read the book and I'm like, damn, this is exactly how I wanted the book to be. Like if I was like, hey, this is me writing with like I have a college degree, but like an English degree, this is exactly, or like a study in English, this is exactly what it would be like.
Mhm.
It is so incredibly good. I'm super proud of it. It took way more time than I wanted it to. Um, but it is obviously I'm very biased. It is the best book out there.
Yeah. Well, that's awesome, man. Speaking of using AI to help you with words, I have been playing with this app called Whisper Flow. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of it, but it's I don't know. I think I spend like $15 a month or something. It's cheaper than Chat GPT. And I just hold down a shortcut key on my keyboard and it listens to me and then it just does speech to text way more accurately than like Siri or whatever
I've
ever
been
could.
posting links and just hosting panels. I'm sorry, everyone. Those are all the links that I've posted.
It's hilarious.
I
Um,
thought they were going out to everybody. I'm going back and posting them all. I'm sorry, everyone.
why? No, Siri, I don't want to talk to you at all. Sorry. See what happens when I say that lady's name? All right, guys, we have gone for long enough. Thank you everyone for coming. We've got some more awesome content next week. Keep an eye out for that. Harrison, thank you so much. And I wish you all a wonderful, safe, happy Christmas if I don't see you all before then. Take care,
Yes.
guys.
Happy holidays. See you guys.